All right, Anthony, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just living my life, doing what I do best. What about you?
I'm good. What do you do best?
I just do my thing. Live life to the fullest extent, be beautiful, and just radiate through Atlanta.
I like your hair.
Thank you so much. I'm getting ready to cut it out though.
Why? It's cute.
It's time for something different. I want to cut away all the demons and demise of last year, and I just want to go into the new year a new person, a new girl.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Detroit.
Okay.
Yep, and I've been living here in Atlanta for it's almost I think I moved here in 2018 and I've been here since 2000. Wait, I moved here in 2018, so all the way to now. So I guess it's like 5 years.
Okay. You've been in Atlanta for 5 years. I heard that you was out there in LA hanging out with Tierra Marie. Okay, because we do know you. Well, I know you from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Drew did an interview saying that she met you out there in LA. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to Full Sail University, and I've been living out in L. And I moved out to LA in 2000 and who was that? Graduated. I moved out to LA full time in 2012, and I lived all the way up into all the way there till I moved here. But
Okay.
yeah. I met Drew in LA. Yeah. I met her through some mutual friends. Tierra was like the main common denominator, like in our friendship.
Okay. Tierra
Like,
Marie
yeah.
from Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
And how you know her?
Um, just being out and about in Hollywood, going to different parties, or going to different events, and just being in the social scene in LA, it's really, really dope.
Okay. And so were you on Basketball Wives? Because people kept telling me when you first got on Housewives, everybody on my channel was like, isn't that the Anthony from Housewives? I mean, Basketball Wives. So I was like, is it? Like, was there a situation with Malaysia and them and Jackie? Something about Malaysia's kids or something?
Yeah, it was really, really crazy. Like, I'm working on cleaning up my image because I just be put in like these wild, crazy situations. But yeah, I've been cool with Kristen. Well, I'm not cool with Kristen anymore. I don't like her. Like, she's definitely a user, and she needed a storyline, and that's why she's in the gutter, and that's why she's not on there anymore. But
Whoa.
yeah, yeah, she's not on there anymore, and she currently lives here in Atlanta as well too. She's reached out to me to hang out and do lunch and stuff like that, but I'm really not that interested in like being associated with her. I think she's a fake bitch, but
Oh no. Why? Cause she not on TV no more. That's why you don't want to hang out with her.
no, that doesn't have anything to do with it, sweetie. Because I was hanging out with her before she was on TV. That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So how did you get involved? So okay. So you was friends with Kristen.
yeah,
You're friends with
Kristen.
a lot of people.
Yeah, I met Christian through Jackie.
Hold on. Let me get my camera together because it keep. Okay. There we go. Okay. So you met Kristen through Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had the situation on Basketball Wives, which we
Which
know
was
it was what.
It was a hot fucking mess. Like that situation, literally, if I could return the form of payment that I got from that, I wouldn't have done it.
Wait, form of payment.
Yeah, like getting like if I could take that, if I could take back that, I wouldn't did it. I wouldn't have done it. It was just too much. I was literally just being a good friend of Kristen, helping her out because of course, these girls be needing a storyline, and I was just helping her out. She's the one who actually delivered the information to me about the situation with Malaysia, and then it just turned into like chaotic behavior. But that's the past.
Who paid you?
It doesn't matter. It's the past. I
No.
don't really want to talk about that. Like it's the past. It's old news. That's so 2018. That happened like when I was getting ready to move here. So it's old news.
Okay, honey. Okay. Okay. So then you moved to Atlanta. Why you moved to Atlanta?
I just moved to Atlanta really because it's like the Black Hollywood down here. I had graduated from school. I got my bachelor's degree in entertainment business management and radio communications. And then I had just been out in LA for so long and I was just ready for something different. I'm the type of person I've always been about my business and always been about my bag. So the bag brought me to Atlanta and I just end up coming here. I've been thinking about going back to LA, but ever since COVID happened and everything like that, I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me just figure it out here in Atlanta. So
So what do you do? Are you about the bag? What do you do for a bag? Because we know you were Drew Sidora's assistant. So is that like what you do, or is there something else?
I do personal assistant work and I also do creative directive work as well too. I'm actually getting ready to start my creative directive company as well too. I have a lot of friends that are in the entertainment industry, and a lot of these girls they need help, or as the streets would say, they need that battery in their back. You know what I'm saying? And what they do is they come to me with their problems or with their issues or what they want to do with their brand, and I take them from that bitch to that girl all the way to different levels. Like I've been an entrepreneur now since I've moved here, and I love it. I've been able to make good money, and been able to survive. So I'm here for it.
What you mean creative direction?
Creative direction, helping them with different opportunities with building their brand, also helping them with their image, giving them new suggestions on different ideas to switch up their look or to help them with storylines for their shows. The whole bit. Basically, what I was doing with Drew before, everything just went completely left and haywire.
So you was hired on to help Drew Sidora with her storylines.
It wasn't to help her with her storyline. So let me tell you. So Drew actually moved here last year. She actually got on the show because she's friends with Eva Marcel, and Eva Marcel put the bug in their ear that she was in Atlanta and all this and that. And everybody knows that Drew's first season, she was boring. She was whack as fuck. Like her wigs, her fashion, everything was laid. And we actually had seen each other a couple of times out and about, throughout her first season. And then we had mutual friends are coming. And then when we went to Greg Lee's funeral, we had really, really connected there and talked about everything. And at that time, like I said, she knew that I was associated with Sheree. She knew that off bail. And she was just like, I want you to come to the house. I want you to meet my husband. We haven't seen each other in so long. Like, let's catch up. And then she was like, are you still in, personal assistant world, doing your creative director stuff? And I'm just like, yeah. So that's like how it naturally happened. But the initial like, let's do this thing started at Greg Lee's funeral.
And how did you get invited to that?
I'm cool with Nene Leaks, and it was a personal invitation.
So you cool with all the reality TV girls.
I, I, I mean, it is what it is. It's time, but it is what it is. It's just like I just put it this way. It's just all about being at the right place at the right time and just knowing the right people. When you have a good rep for yourself, I mean, I know I don't have the best rep now because of the housewife situation, but my name is still good in these streets. I still am friends with a lot of influencers and a lot of people in the entertainment industry. And when one door closes, honey, another one will open.
Period.
Okay.
Okay, so you got a personal invitation to the repass. You and Drew connected, y'all reconnected, and then you just started working for her, right?
Yeah, so it was so crazy. So I had went over to the house like literally like a week after the funeral. They had just got ready to move into the house that they're in now because they went through that drama with their whole house situation with the previous house they were living
What
in.
drama?
And the whole talk something about like she owed the landlord that she was living at some money or whatever the case may be. She had to pay him off, and then they just moved to Duluth and they live in the house that they're in now. I really didn't really get off into it because, like I said, I never really featured her like that. I always thought she was boring, and personally, if it wasn't for Eva, she wouldn't have even got on that show. So, I mean, but hey, she's getting a check and she got a peach though, so I'm not mad at her. Even though I don't like the bitch, I'm not mad at her because she's getting her money. So that's all that matters.
Okay, so you started working for her. How many assistants does she have? Because it's like a running joke that she has 10 assistants, but we don't know what she's doing besides dropping
She
with
got
Drew.
10 assistants and only got two jobs. It was me, it was Brandon, it was Danielle, and then it was her gay best friend from Chicago that plays as her stylist as well too. And then it was the makeup artist. It was
Arquez,
when I went
Artez,
over there. It was
Arquez.
Yep, Artez. Yeah, it's like literally a fiasco over there. It's like literally a mess. But she knows me. She knows what I'm capable of, honey, and she knows my credentials. So that's why she brought me onto the squad. And plus, I believe also that a main reason why that she hired me and had me on payroll is because she knew that I was associated with Sheree, and she knew that Sheree was getting ready to come back for the next
Mm.
season.
So you think it was a setup, hiring you, having you on there to have some sort of tiff with Sheree? You think it was like it was
Yeah,
pre?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I put it this way, where I feel like I came into play and doing everything wrong was not telling Sheree, because me and Sheree were still in a really, really great place all the way up until Halloween of last year. And that's when everything erupted at Kinga's party, because production had ended up telling her, and some of the girls had ended up telling her that I was working with Drew. The only reason why I did not tell Sheree that I was working with Drew is because, Drew had me on payroll and Sheree didn't. Me and Sheree were just friends. And, it was just like, okay, let me just keep my mouth shut. So I'm just like, but if I could take it back and do things over, I would have told Sheree in the beginning, like, yeah, Drew wants me to work with her and all, and everything like that. Drew was scrambling for a storyline when the season first started. She didn't have one. They weren't interested in what her and Ralph were given. They already know that her home life is a fiasco. She needed something to bring to the table. And the table was me. And, she paid well for it. But, I mean, it is what it is. It
She,
is what
she
it
paid
is.
you well to assist her.
Yeah, she paid well. I ain't gonna take it from her. The bitch do come out of some money. I ain't gonna lie. She
Not you
need to
call
start
her a B. You
spending.
can't call her a B. You can't call her that.
I don't like her because she's sitting around. She's talked about me, and then filming is going on now. My name is still in her mouth,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, it's still in her mouth and coming out of her undone lips. It's
Oh,
still.
no. No, 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 no. Okay. So you said that you were Sheree's assistant, and then there's some discrepancies about that you weren't her assistant, that you did
So this is
something
how
for
the
her.
story goes with me and Sheree. Me and Sheree have been knowing each other for years, and before while Sheree was, about to be unveiled or whatever, she was still in the process of finding different people to work with. What I had was what I was able to offer her was a connection for her to start her clothing line, and she just decided not to go with who I had brought her to the table with, and we just left it at that. So yeah, so being her assistant, I was never her assistant. It was just more so like it was just me helping her as a friend, helping her with her clothing line. And when she decided not to go the route with the person that I set her up with, we just left it at that, and we didn't have any issues.
And
Like I
so,
said, we
yeah.
were cool. Like while like the first half of filming, like I just didn't tell her that I was working with Drew.
So she never owed you any money.
No,
Did you
I never.
say?
That's I never. But no, if you rewind the tapes back, I never said that she owed me anything.
Okay.
I owed Mike. I never said that she owed me anything.
Okay.
I never said that. And you can rewind the tapes back. I never said Sheree owes me money. Drew came up with that narrative. I never once said that Sheree Whitfield owes me any money because she doesn't.
How long ago was it when you were in communication with Sheree offering your vendor between the time like that y'all started filming with Drew? Like what was the time difference?
Me and Sheree actually went to LA together in June. So June, July, I was just, June and July we were talking with him, and it was just all talks. You know what I'm saying? They were just showing her different fabrics and different swatches, giving her different, PDF files, letting her know the things that they were able to offer as a company.
Okay.
And she decided to go with him. She's went with somebody else clearly now. And that situation just left it at that. Like when she decided not to go with him, I wasn't mad. I didn't feel any type of way. I did my work by connecting them. Another way that I make my money is that I have a lot of connections when it comes to starting a business. Whether you want to start hair, whether you want to start a clothing line, I have the connections to do that. And what I do is I sell my connections. But her being my friend, I didn't sell her my connection to him. I just gave it to her.
So
So
what's the
like I said,
time difference? How many months went by before you started filming with Drew? A couple
we
months.
started filming in the middle of September. So probably like from July to September.
Okay. So a couple months. So what is the tea when it comes to you? Sheree said, or Fatum said that you told Sheree that Ralph was gay or something. So like,
Okay.
is that true or not?
So once
Because
again, like I said, this TV shit is crazy because the narratives are so crazy. Okay, so Sheree pulled up the text and I said, I have tea on Drew's baby daddy. And because I used to go to the same gym that him and Portia's ex-husband Dennis go. I mean Portia's ex-fiance Dennis goes to.
when
And I
was
had
this?
just
Before you started working with Drew or
let me
during?
tell you something. That text message was so old. That was like literally
Okay.
almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
And at this time, I was just sending her that text, like, you know what, girl, I think that Dennis trying to get on the show because this is when Drew and Ralph were filming their first season. But if you look at that, I never texted her and I never told her through text or anything like, oh my God, Ralph is gay. And for as far as Fatum goes, I don't have an issue with her, but I don't know her. I never sat and had cocktails with her. We never went to the gym. We never ate tacos. None of that.
Okay, wait. So you never said it.
No.
So where did they get that from? Because Sheree was acting like you said it. So is
Once
Sheree
it,
lying? Who lying?
nobody's lying about anything. It's just on the TV it said that she showed Ralph and Drew a text, and it said that I had tea on them. If I ever told Sheree like, do I think he's gay or anything, I might have said, yeah, girl, I wish he was gay or something like that. But do I think Ralph is gay? No. So I don't think he's gay. I never thought he was gay. I never heard about him being gay. I know
Okay.
he cheats. I know he creeps in these streets. I know of
Who
that.
is he cheating with? When did he cheat?
I mean, that's. Let me tell you something about Ralph Pittman. I don't have a problem with him. Let me tell you something. But if it wasn't for Ralph, Drew wouldn't have that peach in her hand. The networks likes him. They don't like her. He cheats on her. He doesn't buy her anything. I mean, come on now. He proposed to her and gave her a wedding ring that doesn't even fit her fucking finger. So, with that being said, I
How
feel like
you
he's.
know he cheat?
I know he cheat. I spent a lot of time at that house. It's been times where he's booked a flight and he's hit it the next day, early in the morning, while Danielle was taking her kids to school because it's a lot of chaos in that house. Ralph doesn't live for her parenting skills. She doesn't spend any time with her kids. She doesn't know how to cook. Her tuna fish is dry. Like she just is a whack ass bitch. She's whack as hell. A lot, like I
You
said, a
cannot
lot of
call
things
her a
got
B
cut.
word.
Oh well, I mean, I call her. I mean, she's called me things. I mean, but I won't
What she
call her
call
names.
you? What she call you?
She's called me. She said very derogatory things to me over the phone when we had conversations doing everything. Like even when the show came on, she was trying to be friends with me. Like when the show was on, like me and her decided that we were not going to work together. And listen, let me make that very, very clear right here on this phone. So after they came back to New York, I was around and me and her parted ways like 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas. She didn't fire me. I didn't get let go because of the whole Ralph rumor because she didn't believe that I said that. I got let go because Sheree had told her that I said that she was boring. And she felt like because I was boring, why do you want to work with me? And but like I told her, honey, I said that you were boring before I started working with you. And I told you that you were boring when you hired me as well too. And the ratings showed that you were boring because season 13's ratings were trash. Let's be very clear. She's boring. And that's why she hired your girl because she needed some help. And this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part and I have all my texts to prove all this. So the night that I got hired, I had called Ralph and I had called Ralph and I was just like, Ralph, okay, when should I tell Sheree that I'm working with you all? Oh no, let's just wait to tell her. Let's just wait to tell her. You know, production and everybody wants everything to be on the hush. We want you to tell her on the show. And I'm just like, well, that's my friend, and I really don't want to do that. But once again, they had me on payroll, and let me tell you something, they pay good. So as anybody would do, I just like, okay, fuck it. But let me tell you something. I look at Sheree as a big sister. Like me and Sheree have an amazing relationship. I actually was just over there last night with her and Martell. And me and her have an amazing relationship. And that situation really tested our friendship and our relationship, but it did nothing to make us stronger. Like I said, I apologize to her about what I said about her because
About her not paying,
about her not paying.
which is
You know,
not only but what we think it to be the truth. I mean, she
I mean,
admitted
it's
it on
no
the reunion.
shade. Like I said, it's no shade. She don't like to pay, but like I said, that wasn't to be hurtful. I tell her that I would tell her that to her face. One thing about me, anything that I say behind the bitch's back, I'll say it to their face.
You can't
Or I
call her a
have
B word.
okay, well, anything that I say behind a woman's back, I'll say it to their
Thank
face.
you. We're not trying to get canceled. Okay,
Okay.
so okay, wait. You said you was hanging out with Sheree and Martell. Is that a real relationship? That's
Well,
real.
well, let me tell you something.
Is
I've
this
been
a
friends.
storyline? So you're back friends with Sheree. Now she with Martell. You was just hanging out with him. Did you concoct this storyline too? I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think they're a good match for each other. They have a lot in common. I've been friends with Martell now for a little bit over a year, and Martell is everything. He's a really, really good guy, and he has a lot of great qualities. And I know that Sheree. I've been knowing Sheree
He's
for a
a
long.
good guy.
Yeah, once okay, like I said, TV is going to always create a narrative of a person about who they are and what they are. But honestly, Martell Ho, he's a really really good guy. Like it's two sides to it's two sides to every story, and he's a really really good father to his kids, and he treats Sheree like a princess. Like they really really do love each other, and their relationship is
They
definitely real.
love each other.
Yeah, it's a really really good relationship. I spend a lot of time with them. Like we go out to eat a lot and stuff like that. Like they're here for each other, and they really care about each other. I'm just gonna say that.
So they're together, like officially boyfriend and girlfriend, because she's trying to play it off like, oh, I'm just talking to him, I'm just seeing him.
Well, hold on one second. Well, in my mind, and for where I look at it, and from what I would tell them, like I always say, you guys are in a relationship. So they're in a relationship. Like they've literally, like they're in a relationship. It's a lot of stuff that people don't see. They spend a lot of time together. They do a lot of things together. You know, they come back and forth to see each other. They travel together. Like they are really in a really loving relationship, and they're in a really really good place. And I'm happy that I'm a part of like their situationship. Like I really like seeing my friends together, and I'm all here for love. So it's really
But
really.
how is it
They
that they
killed
hang?
it,
What'd you say?
and they killed it at Ross's birthday party the other night. Looked amazing. Everything was good.
Oh, I think that's questionable. I
Well,
I ain't like his crop pants. I ain't like his slippers. I thought the coat was a mess. He needs a stylist. Sheree kind of looks a little bit. Yeah, I ain't like it.
okay.
I'm
I've been
Marlo
working with
Slade.
Well, Martell is a straight man, and most straight men don't know how to put on clothes. He's a dad, so but he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's stuck in
take it
that.
apartment. Don't worry,
Oh,
he
oh, you,
gonna give it. It looks good, like she said. She's old and she's cold. They having a good time. They having good sex. They living their life, and that's all that
they're
matters.
having
And to be honest,
sex.
I mean, come on now.
I mean, she didn't want to let us know, so I'm just like trying to get the information. But okay, that's cute.
Yeah, I believe that honestly, they're the best couple on that
Now
show.
riddle
Honestly,
me this. How is it? Okay, wait a minute. I got two questions. How is it? First question. So he's gonna be like a house husband this season. Do you know that much? Like he's
um,
on there, like how Ralph is on there and stuff, or is it just like he gonna pop in and pop out like Tyrone?
it's definitely more than what Tyrone was given. I can't say that. You guys are just gonna have to watch. But like I said, they spend a lot of time together. They do a lot together. He literally they would like I said, I was literally with this both last night. So
And how is it that the paparazzi just found him in some random part? Like that's weird to me. It's giving like we call TMZ, we call it the paparazzi. It's giving PR stunt. A lot of us think it's giving
oh,
PR. It's giving.
I don't think it's giving a PR stunt. Like I said, out here in Atlanta, there's a lot of different blog sites. Like Freddie O is really really big down here. Like, and he's out and about a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then on Instagram they track these people's movements. I think they just so happened to find them in the park that day, and it just happened. PR stunt, no, because I feel like if Sheree wanted to do PR stunt, she could have did it with Tyrone. She could have did it with Bob. Like
They
Sheree is an old.
tried.
She could have been. Well, Sheree, if she wanted to do PR stunts, she definitely could have been did that, and she's never
She
done that.
definitely tried it with Bob and Tyrone. Tyrone
You
just couldn't get
need
his
my
stuff
girl.
together. Why did Bob come back? She didn't want to be with Bob. She needed something going on for the TV cameras, child.
Well, I mean, well, like, that's the father of her children. So, I mean, I believe at that time when they were married, they were in a happy, fulfilling
I'm
romance.
talking about when they divorced and then she came back to the show and then like Bob and then she kind of opened up about the abuse that she experienced with him. Anyways, okay, off subject. So, okay, so she said somehow Drew found out that you called her boring. Y'all decided not to work. So, just to be clear, you did not get fired. It was a mutual decision to break up.
It was a mutual decision to break up. She actually has a manager that called me at that time. He used to be Ti's old manager. I think his name is I forget his name. He's so irrelevant. I forgot his name. But he was just like, yeah, Drew and Kenya are in a really, really good place. Like everything with Drew is staged. Let me just say that. Like her getting cool with Kenya and stuff like that is all staged. The only reason why she wanted to be friends with Kenya because she didn't want to be on Kenya's bad side because she knows she couldn't handle her, just like she can't handle keeping her husband at home. Everything with her is staged. Everything with her is staged. She's fake. She's fake as like she's fake. Like she's fake. She's just fake. I just don't like her. Like she's not my type of girl. Like she's fake.
Okay. So y'all broke up. And then, okay, so she went on to Candy Speak on it and basically was like, you came up there to the Lanithia. She was at the Lanithia and
Well,
she
no, I didn't come up
claims,
to anywhere, honey. So that's the first thing. Like I said, I didn't come up anywhere. Me and my associate, which is Nini's makeup artist, she had texted us and she was just like, "Hey, you guys come up to the Lanithia." Now Nini knew the entire situation, what was going on with me and Drew. Okay.
okay.
And she just told us to come up to the Lanithia so for me and Drew to talk. So, I walk into the building looking good, smelling good, doing what I do best. And I see Drew sitting there with the same Gucci bag that she's been wearing for eons. And she's sitting there with one of the old producers from Housewives. And Nene greets us, and we're all sitting in the section. And I'm about to get ready to order some of the legendary salmon bites that she has up at Lanithia. And Drew's sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Now, mind you, we had all been drinking that night. So, make a long story short, she started to pop off. Now, Drew didn't pay me my last check. She keeps talking about Sheree didn't pay me, honey. Drew didn't pay me. Drew didn't pay me payment for my last week of work.
Oh my
But
God.
for money. So I ain't tripping about it. But at that time, I was just like, girl, you know what? You can definitely pay me my money. And Nene knew that she owed me money. Nene is a key. I love Nene Leakes though. She is a legend. So, anyways, so we up there, we get into it, and then she throws her cheap ass purse at me, and I threw it back at her, honey. I
Okay,
said, "Don't be."
wait. What led up to that? That don't make sense. She just all of a sudden y'all was drinking and
Well,
kikiing and
she was caught off guard that I was coming up there.
okay.
She was caught. She didn't know I was coming up there.
Okay.
And we were all in Nene's section. She like it's like a round section. So Drew's right there, Nene's right here, I'm right there, the associates right there, and then the entourage of people. And then and I'm just like, Drew, you see me, girl. And she kept looking me up and down, running her mouth because it was a producer on the show that she had came with. I'm just gonna about to spill the tea, okay?
Spill
It was a
it.
producer on the show. His name is Ashton, right? Ashton, this is so crazy to me. But Ashton was in love with Drew. Like Ashton wanted to be with Drew. Ashton was another reason why Drew got on the show. Ashton was like her ears to like what was going on. Ashton, because on Housewives, all the producers they go to each other's houses and stuff like that. So Ashton was like that puppet, always reporting to Drew about what everybody had going on. But Ashton really liked Drew. And let me tell you something, her and Ralph are married, but I don't know what type of marriage that they have because Ralph knew that Ashton wanted Drew, and I told him that night after the escapade at the Lanithia because I called him in the car and I told Ralph that he needs to come get his woman before I get somebody to come whoop her ass. I was about to call Tierra down here and a few of my other girls from Love and Hip Hop, and she was about to get it. Let's be very clear because she did too much in that Lanithia. She threw that cheap ass handbag at me. You know the Gucci that's written like in different. You know that one that everybody got that's weathered with the two G's on the little round coin bag. Look on the website. It's only 1,200, and she threw it at me. She's whack as fuck, and I threw it back at her. I said, we can't say that word, but then we got into it. Nene was just sitting there like, oh my God. And then the security came or whatever. So Drew stands up and then Drew stands up and then I'm on the other end. I'm like, you know what? I don't have no time for this. And me and my friend had left. I had been drinking. I know at the end of the day, I can't put my hands on a woman and I would never put my hands on a woman. But what
She
I will
says
do is,
that you lunged at her.
yeah, I lunged that cheap ass handbag at her. I sure in the hell did. I didn't. That's not me putting my hands on her. That's me picking up something and throwing it back at you, just like you threw it at me. I don't
Okay.
carry cheap handbags, honey.
So she hit you with the handbag and you threw it back at her, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lunged it at her. She says, let me tell you something. If I lunged at her or put my hands on her, don't you think she would have had me arrested or tried to sue me? Come on now.
Probably, yeah.
Exactly.
But she says she's
Case,
about that life though. So she
huh?
don't look she also
About
says she's about that life. Like she from Chicago. She told whatchamacallit, I'm from
Baby, she from the
Chicago.
suburbs of the Chicago. And if she was about that life, her husband wouldn't be running around Atlanta cheating on her. If she was about that life, she'll be at home cooking and cleaning. And if she was about that life, baby, she would have more in her closet than a few Alexander McQueen bags that she caught on clears from sex under $900. Let's be very clear. She's whack to me. She's whack. She don't know how to dress. She don't know how to give. Like I literally came in Drew's life when she hired me, and I was just like her fairy gay father. I had, I know a lot of people, so I had some clothes sent in from different boutiques, you know, so she could be dressed for this season. I had one of my really, really good homegirls. She has a really, 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 really good wig and hairline. It's called Valley Girl Hair. She actually signed a contract, so her hair was going to be better this season because, from what I hear, she didn't want to pay Portia for those wigs that she's been wearing this season, but she didn't have no choice once I hit the door. So I was about to get her some free
Wait.
hair for promo. You know how the girls do on Instagram. She wear the wig,
Right.
then they shout her out and stuff like that. So I was about to hook her up with that. But that exited stage left when I exited
So
stage left.
Drew is paying for them Go Naked wigs. I thought it
I
was a
don't know if
sponsorship deal.
I don't know if she paying now. But let me tell you something, honey. Portia was definitely getting a cash app, honey, every time a wig was delivered. Either Cash App, Zelle, or Apple Pay.
Yikes, that is funny. Anthony, you're
No, what's
messy.
funny is I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I'm gonna tell you what's funny. This is what's funny. I literally came in the door doing my job, being respectful, just being, you know, a worldwide man. Okay,
Legendary.
legendary. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not looking for no clout. Let me tell you something. I've been to A-list events all the way down to D-list events, and honey, I don't need nobody to get me in. Honey, I get invited. I don't need nobody to get anywhere. Let me tell you something, honey. I've had relationships with other housewives way before her. And I never needed to use anybody to get anywhere, honey. And ain't nothing but a one call away, like Chingy said. Let's be very clear. Ooh, I do not like her. And for her to get on that Candy speak on, my thing is this. That whole, I think I don't really care for Candy like that. I believe that speak on it is like 45 minutes. She spent a good 25 minutes to 30 minutes talking about me.
What
And
you
like I
got
said,
against Candy?
huh?
What you got against Candy?
I don't have anything against Candy. Okay, this is what I don't like. Candy was on there talking about some, we gotta watch who we keep around us. You remember she was like, you gotta watch who we keep around us. People want to get on front of the
Oh
TV.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly. But let me tell you something about Candy, honey. If she spent more time worried about her restaurants and her marriage and her husband getting us some money, she would be in a better situation. Like I said, okay, we get it. Candy's a boss and all this and all that. But I believe that Candy's a, and I'm just gonna
Oh,
say
wait a
that.
minute. Wait a minute. Why you say that? Because of what Nene said? Is you being influenced by Nene? Because Nene was talking about the house in words and the.
I'm not gonna say I'm not being influenced by Nene, but I'm gonna tell you this. I believe that Candy is a, and what she does is she likes to bring people to the platform, like she did last season, and like how she's currently doing this season to do her dirty work because she's not woman enough to say it herself. She want to run behind Down Wine or whoever other, with any other friend that she brings to the show. Hence, last season and this season now, okay, to do her dirty work. She always got something to say about somebody, but then she want to use other people to say it. She's whack. And she spent more time worrying
I mean,
about her
Sheree
rest.
did that with Fatum. She used Fatum to say everything about Drew that she didn't want to say. Like the gay rumor. She used Fatum to say that. Your friend do the same thing.
Well, I don't
So,
think she does the same thing. I think once again, I just don't. I really don't care for Candy. I respect Candy because okay,
but
she was a
Candy
part of
is,
the.
she's saying what everybody else. People think that you're messy. People think that you're a clout chaser. They think that you want to be on TV. They feel like you were pressed to be on TV. Is that not the case?
I'm not pressed to be on TV because, like I said, honey, if I wanted to be on TV, I could have been on TV. Almost everybody that I'm friends with is in the entertainment industry. Damn near. If I wanted to be on TV, honey, I could have been did that. I have a whole degree. Let's be very clear.
Oh,
If I wanted to be on TV, honey, I got the power to get my own shit started. Okay. And I got the coins and credit to get it done. But
oh.
what's for me is going to be for me. And what's meant for me is going to be meant for me. Like I said, I believe in just waiting like for your time. I'm not pressed to be on TV. No, I'm not. Now, if the opportunity presents itself and it happens, it happens. I didn't come to Drew like, oh my God, I want to be on Housewives. No, honey, you brought me to the Housewives because you needed a storyline. Let's be very clear, honey. And the storyline about your husband cheating on you is getting old because, honey, ain't nothing changed, honey.
Okay, wait. She said, I think Drew said that you wanted to be an actor or something you wanted to be.
Yeah,
And
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't want to be an actor because let me tell you something, honey. If Tyler Perry was to call me tomorrow, honey, I'm going. If Lee Daniels was to call me tomorrow, I'm going. If Zeus was to call me tomorrow and the bag is right, I'm going. If Love and Hip Hop was to hit me up tomorrow, I'm going. If Basketball Wives was to call me and tell me to put on a wig, we got a bag for you, I'm going. I'm getting the bag just like everybody else. And let me tell you something. A lot of these girls down here is pressed to be on TV in Atlanta. Okay. She was
mm,
pressed to be on TV. That's why her whack ass moved from LA all the way from here, wanted to befriend Eva so she can get on that show. She wanted to be on there too because she had nothing else going on. Let's be very, very clear, honey. Drew hasn't been in a movie since Step Up. Let's be very clear. And she's known for a role on The Game that was in 2006.
she did a
That
Lifetime
show that
movie,
got
I think,
canceled
recently.
and Theater got a divorce.
She did a Lifetime movie. Who got a divorce?
Tia.
Oh.
She did a Lifetime movie, whoop de doo. And let me tell you, she wasn't the leading actress, honey. Latoya Luckett was.
Oh, that's still an
So,
accomplishment, Anthony.
oh please, it's an okay. Well, it's an accomplishment that I got on there as well too. Then, so hey.
Child. So how
But
was
let me
it
tell you
speak?
something.
Yeah.
No, I'm just. But I want to set the record straight on that. I didn't go looking to getting on Housewives. Because let me tell you something. Once again, I have relationships. I've had relationships with other housewives way before her. So if I wanted to get on a housewife show, I could have been did it.
Right.
If I wanted to do that, I could have been did that. The opportunity was presented when she told me that she wanted to hire me.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me she was hiring me to be her assistant and her creative director, not to go against Sheree.
So, what are you doing now?
Well, I'm getting ready to actually launch my creative directive company, and I'm actually getting ready to open up my online boutique. It's called Sleepless, and then I'm going to do an extension to that called the House of Heat. I've actually had some opportunities from other reality shows that have hit me up, about a good three, that are on major cable networks. And then, I'm just living my best life. I'm doing what I got to do, making my bag and staying out of the way. And, when opportunity presents itself and it's the right opportunity, I'm going to go for it. Let's be very clear.
I could
I believe.
definitely see you on Zeus.
Oh, you trying to shade me? I don't even watch
No,
it.
I'm saying like I feel like Zeus. Like I feel like I could see you like on the Bobby Show, the Bad Boys. Do you
Well,
fight?
honey, me and Bobby like the same thing, honey. So that's not gonna happen. But I love Bobby. Just seen him a few weeks ago. And shouts out to him. His show is amazing. But honey, that would be staged, honey. We like the same thing. That'd be
Yikes! So you friends with Bobby too? Who you not friends with?
Kristen, Drew,
Damn.
Kristen, Drew. I mean, it's a few other girls that I really don't care for. But like I said, for her to say that, I got a bad name in these streets, no, baby, I got a bad name with you. Just like your husband should for cheating on you all these years that you've been
How
married
do
and
you
not
know
wanting
that? How do you know that? How do you know he's
to.
cheating?
I
You
have a
can't
lot
be
of.
slandering. Is you just saying this because you
No, I'm being.
know?
Let me tell you, I spent a lot of time I spent nights at that house. Like I said, I spent a lot of time with them. And the things that Ralph does, let me tell you something. I don't think I would accept it. My mother would accept it. Your mother would accept it. He would accept it. Anybody would accept it. Okay. He cheats. He comes and goes as he pleases. Okay. He flies in and out of town when he wants to. Don't nobody knows what he does for money. Let's
Yeah, you don't
let's
know
just
what is he doing in that office all day.
baby, honey. He doing more in that office than accountant. Let's just say that, honey. And let me tell you something. A lot of the stuff that Fatone says that he does, he is doing. He a street guy and he just played Ruckers. Okay. But let me tell you something. I don't have my problem is not with Ralph, and I just want to put that I don't have an issue with Ralph. And actually, Ralph and Martell are cool. So I don't have an issue with Ralph. It's his whack ass wife that I got the issue with. And like I said, I believe he's with her for opportunity, and I believe that he's with her to get half of that housewife check. And what he does is he gets the money that she makes from that show and he flips it. Let me tell you something, honey. Behind that peach, honey, there's a lot of lies and a lot of bullshit. Okay? And let me
Oh
tell you something.
wow.
She is this whack. I know the B words, but she's this whack to me. It's making my nose sweat.
Oh Lord.
That and the smell of
Um,
ooh, ooh.
Andy was kind of playing you to the left. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed that he a queen. I expect nothing less, honey. But he not shopping no shows over here, honey. He should have been more worried about wearing black shoes with that color suit that he had on.
Well, you can help Andy and Martell with their suits. Martell looked a mess. Them cropped pants and them slippers and that coat. I was like, you are too fine to dress that ugly.
Martell is a very handsome man, and like I said, in the fashion department, he might not be the best, but you know that's like a big brother to me. So I read him about his fashions, and
Yeah,
I'm
help him
gonna help.
out. Yeah.
I'm gonna help him out with it. He gonna push through this season on Love and Marriage Huntsville and on the Housewives. He's definitely gonna push through because he's the best looking guy on the Housewives now. Like, come on now.
Is Sheree gonna be on Love and Marriage?
You know what? She ain't gonna kill me. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, they gonna be going to. They spend a lot of time each other. They spend a lot of time together. You know, with these reality shows, they're filming their day to day life. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna pop up over there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony, you're very funny. I'm
And
kind of
so maybe you should call her next time so she can give you the real after this because it's crazy. I cannot believe that she did that interview. But Drew's not stopping nothing. And then, oh, and I want to address this as well too. She said on there that did she say that I got ran out or I got bad reputations with people?
something like that.
I want I'm sending this message to Drew. I want you to send me 10 people in the industry that I got an issue with outside of Kristen from Basketball Wives that's not on there anymore. That got fired. That's why she moved to Atlanta and Malaysia. I want you to pull up outside of those two. I want you to go find somebody else. And then if I got problems with somebody, we all need to have a conversation. And let's really talk about it. And then we can call Zeus.
Not a conversation. Now that would be tea.
That would be T. But let me tell you something. Drew hard up for the money. She probably needs it because her man don't buy her nothing, and he flips her housewife checks.
Bought her a lobster.
Oh, baby, I go to the Whole Foods and I buy lobster once a week. That ain't. And I don't cook, and I go out to eat every night, honey. And the way my weight fluctuates, I eat good, baby.
You are too much. I feel a ways about you though because number one, I DM'd you so long ago, and then when you DM me back at the finale or whatever, you rescheduled 5 times. So what's going on?
Honestly, like I said, I've just been getting my mind right. You know, I've been seeing a counselor. I've been going to
Okay.
see a therapist. Yeah, I just been getting my mind and my body, my soul, and my skin right. I just recently went through hell, like literally 3 months ago. My associate that I was telling you about that's associated with Nene Leaks,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he burnt my face.
This not the
I
makeup artist.
Yes, the makeup artist. His name is Freedom. He burnt my face. So you remember that whole situation about the guy that got his face burnt in Atlanta?
No.
Okay, he got his face burnt by somebody called Diamond Faces. That's who taught him how to do the facials.
Got
And
you.
and he gave me a TCA chemical peel. And baby, when I tell you I came out looking like I was in a forest fire, I got the pictures to prove it, honey. Let me tell you something, honey. He's a really good makeup artist. He does Drew's makeup now. I was over there vouching for him to, get in the chair over there. Because let me tell you something, honey. Drew coins ain't flowing like that. He charges $250 for a beat, baby. She barely wanted to pay that. Artiz is over there beating her face for $50. That's why her face looked like that in the beginning of the season and all last season, them $50 beats. But then she got with them 250 beats because I had to read her and I had to tell her to hire him. But let me tell you something. Y'all go to him to get his make go to him to get y'all makeup done. But if y'all going to play with some chemicals, baby, y'all gonna come out looking like y'all was in a fire, baby.
Well, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. You're a character. I actually like you. I thought you were fun this season. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I like you too. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of me, honey. Let me tell you something, honey. One person doesn't stop one show, honey. Let's be very clear, honey. But guess what, honey? The real storyline she still keeps talking about.
and on that note, where can they find you?
You can find, you can find me on Instagram. It's at the ALG Experience, and I also have a YouTube channel, which is the ALG Experience as well too.
Okay.
And yeah, if you can find me on there, honey, and then I can't wait to talk with you soon. As we
Yes.
discuss really, really soon. It's a lot of things in the works.
All right, I'm excited. All right, so everything will be in the description box down below. All right. Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome. Peace.
All right.